Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day this finds you. My name is Judith Millay. I'm the General Manager at the Express Leeds City Centre and I'm passionate about booking commission. So I have a little video tutorial for you today and I'm just going to talk you through what we're going to do. So we have a new and improved LCU. LCU stands for List of Commissionable Updates. So what is booking commission? Well, this is the amount that we pay various sites and agents to sell our product, rather like selling through eBay. It acts as our distribution channel. So this video is going to be all about demonstrating the daily LCU approval process using the new tool that we have. You may not really understand booking commission. So what does this tool actually do? Well, it compares our system to the IHG system and identifies any differences. And why is this important? Well, our invoice for booking commission is made up from the IHG figures. So if they're not correct, then we could end up overpaying. So I'm just going to talk you through the new LCU tool. On the first page, you have an instructions page, and this prints out onto 2 pages. So you don't have to watch this video all the time. Once you've watched the video, just print off the instructions and then you'll have them to hand. We have 3 paste-in tabs. Those of you who have used the LCU before are familiar with this. We have a new tab though, which is pastinbooking.com. We have check this page, and then we have all of the months of the year. The final tab is under review at the moment. This is to reconcile our invoice. So if I just take you back to the check this page. So this is where all the information from the 3 paste-its comes together to compare and to highlight various actions for you. So first thing you'll see is we have 3 new boxes here, and this is where we are comparing our booking.com commission. So first tab is what booking.com say we owe them for that day. This is what the LCU says, and this is what our own system Amadeus says. So as you can see here, there are actually discrepancies, and you need to do this every day and investigate why. When we've looked into this particular one, what we can actually see is that there is an amendment that we have done with the guest at the hotel, but we haven't actually updated that in booking.com. So this is a really good go-to tool so that you can make sure that we're not overpaying on booking.com commission. The next section here, this is comparing the number of entries on this sheet from Amadeus and from the LCU. So here you can see we are 1 out. What we don't want to see is more entries on the LCU than we have on Amadeus, because that would indicate that there's something missing and you would need to investigate it. Just a little checkbox there, and 99.9% of the time those would match. There's a drop-down box here for you to select your own hotel. When you paste them in, you are told here the number of potential changes. And if we look down here, we can see some green and red figures. Red means stop. You need to do something about it because you are going to overpay commission on there. As you can see in this particular example, the LCU says the room revenue is £209.98. Amadeus is only saying 179.98. We have some green amounts, and green are one that you should change because you will still owe this money. So at this point, we're actually going to underpay booking.com. But of course, they do want their money. So they will send in a request for that. So we need to make those changes at that point. So green and red have different actions for you. You'll also see over here that we have an agent highlighted in green, and that's highlighted where you have a booking that we have put in ourselves. So it could be an allotment, it could just be a single reservation, but there is no IATA number issued with it. So you have an opportunity here to say, oh, okay, I can pay this person commission, and add it onto your LCU at the time. So that's about being proactive. You can see we have a box here that says click here. And I will show you how this all works in a moment. What this does is moves over all the information to the month tab for you and puts it over in that format. So there's quite a lot of information coming together on there, but your role really is a check-in role, and I'm going to show you now a little bit more how that works in principle. So the first thing we need to have is our 3 apps open. So you need IHG Merlin, you need Amadeus, and you need Booking.com. And then you also need your LCU Master open. So the first thing we do when we open up is we go to each of the 3 tabs and we clear the sheet. Okay, and this is just to preserve the data lines. So first thing we need to do is to paste in our Loyalty Connect or our LCU information from Merlin. So into Merlin, there's 2 ways you can get this information. You can get it through Loyalty Connect by clicking on and just selecting from the Hotel Operations, LCU here. I would prefer it if you went in this way through IHG Commission Services. And there's 2 reasons for this. A, it's quicker, but also you can see all the other applications that we have within this field. So, for example, there is a document library. Now, the people at IHG Commission Services are adding to this all the time. So there's lots of really useful information. So it's a good place for you to come and find information. There is also the link to authorization to pay if you need to pay an agent. So first of all, we're going to click on the LCU, just have a little chat about what we've got on here. So what I would always say is whatever date it is that you're going to be looking for, always search. So if I wanted the 30th of May, even though that's apparently what's displaying, always refresh the screen using the search. It's really important that you do that. Along the top here, you have a help, and this is a really good tool. So if you want to do anything particular in the LCU, so such as adding in commission for an agent, or just really more information how this whole screen and bits work, this is your go-to place here in this screen. So the date that we're actually going to do today is the 28th. So you can see we've got a 3-day rolling window here. I can't affect anything that isn't in green, so it's too late for me to make changes. 28th we need. I'm going to search that to refresh, bring that all up. And then what I need to do is to export that. The dialog box opens and it will default to the date that I've requested. I need to select checked out. I'm not interested in anything else. It's just the checked out information that I need. And that will drop down there. So I'm going to pick that up. Okay, and I'm just going to copy and paste that into my LCU master. Done. The next page is paste history departures. So this is from Amadeus. I need history departures per departure date name, and that means that it comes over in alphabetical form. And I'm going to export it, excuse me, as an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, sorry, here's one I made earlier. So I'm going to copy and paste that into my master. And then the final one I need to do is the Booking.com. So to get this one, click into your Booking.com extranet, and you need to change the filters here. So I want to change it to be a checkout date, and I want the 28th of May until the 28th of May, show, and then I'm going to download that. Okay. Quite often when this opens, you need to enable editing to be able to copy and paste. You can see the amount of entries on here. This is quite an extreme example for me, with it being the bank holiday. We had quite a lot of Booking.com leisure guests in. Okay, so now I have pasted in all 3 pages. I go to my check this page and you can see the information has already pulled itself over, but I do have a box missing. So the first thing I'm going to do is to click here. And what this will do is move the data over onto the correct month tab, which is May. And it's also going to format the Booking.com information. So let's do that. Okay, data has been moved. So you can see there's actually quite a bit of discrepancy going on here. And this is something obviously that needs investigating. 9 times out of 10, they are equal, but obviously on the times they're not, this is when we really need to be on it. So you can see here my entries match. So it's telling me that I've got 3 potential changes here. So when I just have a look down here, I can see, wow, I've got £96 there. I've got a difference between what LCU is saying and what Amadeus is saying. So obviously this needs investigating. I could do this one of 2 ways. I could look in Amadeus. I could actually look on Booking.com because I've still got that open and just have a look at the actual reservation. But that, I'm sure you'll agree, needs amending. If I don't change that, I'm potentially going to overpay by £14, something like that. So other things I've got on here, I've got £40, which has gone the other way. So actually, the LCU is recording it as less than that. So again, I will need to alter this. And I've got another little £6 there, which again, it's red, so I'm going to potentially overpay. So I now need to go into my LCU and make those amends. So the way that you do this is to click on the box next to it and just make the amend that way. So for example, just have a look, I think it was Michael. Where's my variance? Leonardo. Okay, so come to Leonardo, click on here, and you can see straight away what's happened is the system, I call it the system, I don't really know why, but it has got 2 consecutive dates at £153, and that very definitely wasn't the case. The first night was actually at £57. So this needs adjusting. Change to 57, whoops, and save. Okay, now it's come up because I've tried to alter it to be more than £100. It's not liking it. So what we have to do is just trick the system. So we're going to say £97 and let it think it's at 1. And then I'm going to go back in again and change it. Okay, so that's now amended, and that will then reflect in the changes, and I've told IHG that's the amount I'm going to pay. So I would then go and make the other 2 changes that we've identified on here. And then what I need to do is to approve this and also take the 2 revised figures and enter them. So first of all, I've amended something, so I'm just going to search to refresh the screen. And I'm just going to make a note of the figures there, £47.80 in fees, 55678 in commission. come back to my LCU master. Now there is no need to rerun the reports so that you don't get any red or green. And I understand why people want to do it, because it's nice to see no red or green. But by doing that, what you're actually doing is taking out that original information. And you'll see when we come to here, I'm going to input here the number of changes. So we'll say I have done all 3 changes, put my initials in there. So my new figures are sorry, I'll just move it over there. 556.78, and my fees were £47.80. So you can see it's telling me that I've saved there £13.44. And therefore, you know, by keeping the originals in and not rerunning the reports, you are showing those. Now, sometimes you will get minus because we do need to make sure that we are paying agents if we owe them money. And if it's come through the other way, then, you know, do make sure. The final thing you need to do, back onto the LCU, and just to acknowledge this. I'm not going to click on this at the moment because I haven't done the other 2 changes yet. You can keep acknowledging this as much as you want, though. You know, it's just once you've gone past that 3-day rolling window, there's really nothing to do about it. Anyway, so the whole process doesn't take very long. I mean, obviously, if you have discrepancies, then you do need to spend a little bit of time looking for them. But it's really working for us in that we are finding out how much there is to maximize with our booking.com, making sure we're keeping that up to date all the time so it is accurate in terms of early departures, cancellations, no-shows, etc. Anyway, I hope this has been of help to you. Please, as always, shout if you need any help, and good luck.